For any overlanding rig, the electrical system is a critical piece to the build. You can have a basic setup with a power station and just a solar panel, a bigger system that can take on pretty much any demand, or somewhere in between. Now we're looking to travel in this van full time with a baby, so having reliable power is absolutely critical. For this van, we have a 12-volt AC, a max air fan, a hydronic heating system, which will heat our water, our floors, and our hot air. I'm not sure what we're gonna do for internet, but maybe a Starlink, a 12-volt fridge somewhere around here, a microwave for heating up the baby's milk, maybe some baby food, maybe even some oatmeal for us. And finally, enough 12-volt and 120-volt outlets to charge basically whatever we need. In our last van, we had 300 amp hours of Battle-Born lithium batteries, as well as 400 watts of solar on the roof, which, to be honest, was a sufficient amount of energy, but we could not power an AC or a microwave if we wanted to. But now I am super excited to announce that we joined the Battle-Born family, who's gonna be helping us take this van's electrical system to the next level. For all of our electrical demands, Battle-Born hooked us up with 2 of their 270 amp hour Gamechanger 3 batteries, which are awesome because they're super durable and you can stack them pretty much in any spot whatsoever. We tucked ours in this little cavity right here in our electrical compartment area. Battle-Born is a one-stop shop for all of your other electrical components as well. As you can see here, we have a Battle-Born battery bank with Victron electrical components, with the biggest one being the Multiplus 3000 watt inverter, which is pretty much critical for all of your 120 volt appliances like a microwave, if you have an electric hot water heater like we did in our last van, or charging your laptops, things like that that require household plugs, hair dryers, you name it. This is what does the job. It's converting the 12 volt to 120 volt. Up here is our Victron Smart Solar Charge Controller, which the easiest way to explain it is allows the solar panels to speak the same language as the battery bank, so it can safely charge and not damage your batteries. I'm not gonna lie, this one's pretty powerful with 150/60, meaning 150 volts and 60 amps. For our 600 watt solar panel array, I don't think we're gonna get that, but it's better to be on the higher side than too low. We tie everything together with the Victron Lynx Distributor, which is basically a very professional looking bus bar for the positive and the negative side. So all of your connections are managed in one spot, making it really clean and really nice. The monitoring and the brains of the system is managed by the Smart Shunt, as well as the Cerbo GX and the Victron GX Touch 50, which is really cool because it's a display monitor as well as a remote control for the Victron inverter. So instead of coming down to the garage to turn this guy on and off, I could just do it from the monitor, and there's Bluetooth capability with it, so I could actually turn it off and manage it from my phone. If you're familiar with electrical systems on overlanding rigs, then you might be wondering where our source of alternator charging is for when we're driving the van we can charge our house batteries. And the answer is we do not have a DC to DC charger like the Victron Orion, and we're not going to. In fact, on our last van we had a battery isolation manager. Actually, this guy in particular, the Lithium BIM 225 by Precision Circuits, and we're going to put this on this van as well because we liked it so much. With the Orions and the DC to DC chargers, your charge rate is relatively low, maxed out at like 40, maybe 60 amps. And this thing can generate up to 175 amps, maybe even more depending on the size of your alternator. And it was really, really nice to have this on our last Vic. And after talking with the guys over at Battle-Born, talking about our needs and demands, they thought it's our best option for alternator charging to go with this again. In terms of charging our house batteries, we'll have 3 main methods, one being the one I just talked about with the alternator. If you saw our last episode, then you know we have 600 watts of walkable solar panels. I still can't believe it. And lastly, we have a shore power inlet, which I don't really expect to use because we have so much solar on the roof. And when we drive, we'll be charging our batteries all the time. For our 120 volt AC distribution panel, we went with the Paneltronics 6 different breaker slots. We're only utilizing 4, but I wanted that added space just in case I wanted to add 2 more. And this thing is great because it's a small, compact design, perfect for van life because every inch matters in the van life. For our 12 volt fuse panel, we went with Progressive Dynamics, which is awesome because it has 18 different slots for fuses and components or accessories, whatever. So we have a ton and we're able to put each accessory on its own fuse, which is really reassuring because if something faults and you only have one fuse designated to that accessory, it's really easy to pinpoint that issue. And this also is a very compact, slim, tight design, and it looks really good on the outside of the exterior electrical compartment area. Lastly, we have master switches to turn off all of the power to the system. We have one for the main battery bank, which if I turn that off, everything would power down. We have one for the alternator charger, since that is connected to the vehicle battery. If I turn this off, that connection still may be live, so as a safety precaution, I have that turned off as well. And then we also have a breaker for our solar panel array. So if we don't want the solar to come in, or if we have to work on the solar, I can just flip that switch so that I have no power coming from those lines when I'm messing around with it. So for this van, we have 540 amp hours of lithium battle-borne batteries, 600 watts of solar, an alternator charger using a battery isolation manager, a big 3000 watt inverter, and the Cerbo GX battery monitoring system. I'm really confident with this setup that it's going to power pretty much everything we need. I doubt we'll ever need to connect to shore power, and I'm super excited about this setup. I plan to be running the AC in really hot weather and the heater all winter long. If you are trying to figure out what you need for your rig, then try and do an assessment on how much power you're going to be drawing, what kind of components are in your van, and then go from there. Again, a huge thank you to Battle-Born Batteries for hooking us up with our electrical system. We are so stoked to be a part of the team. If you're in the market for batteries or other electrical components, then consider Battle-Born. We had them in our last van and they were so reliable with the best customer service that we are just super stoked to be part of the team, honestly. If you guys have any questions on our system or electrical in general, I'm not a certified electrician, but I'll do my best to provide my thoughts and opinions. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one.